Senator Cassidy, unless Senator Cornyn, I believe you did not want to say anything. Senator Cassidy.
Let us be clear. We're talking today about setting up a process. We're not talking about a specific solution. A process that would be bipartisan, ideally involving the House, to look at solutions. To have it mischaracterized and misrepresented as Republicans cutting things is false. It is lying to the American people. This committee hearing is about setting up a process to listen to proposals about hitting billionaires and millionaires with lots of money, or other proposals, however it is, to have something to present to us in this committee in normal order to either reject or accept. It isn't one proposal. It could be two, it could be three. And any member here could put up a committee, put up a bill in the nature, an amendment in the nature of a substitute and replace it all. That's what we're talking about here. If the other side of the aisle thinks that they've got a great idea, they should want this process. They should want this process because that would give them the opportunity to present to the American people and to this committee and to the Senate their particular perspective. To say that you don't even want a process, however you kind of put all kinds of fancy words about it and rhetoric about that side and this side, if you say you don't even want a process, it means you don't want to take it on. That you've decided it's more important to be a politician and to have an issue to divide our country than to be a senator who's looking for solutions. By the way, I have an idea, I'll be honest about that, bipartisan, with multiple Democrats on the others, multiple Democrats supporting the idea. But that doesn't mean my idea will be the one that's accepted. We today are only talking about setting up a process where the American people have the opportunity to have input in order at the end of that process would bring to this committee a product to be considered or rejected and replaced with another product. That is regular order. And to start saying it's partisan and we're cutting benefits, that is not true. Why am I so passionate? Guess what? You know what's really going to cut seniors? If we don't fix it, and there's going to be by law a 22 to 28% cut in benefits for every senior currently receiving Social Security. Or we'll increase taxes by 40%. Boy, won't that gut the ability to save money for retirement for the American people. Or we'll just borrow lots of money and destroy our country's credit rating. And every year we wait, it gets worse. Now, I have been told by Bernie Sanders and by Lindsey Graham, Bill, I'm quoting Lindsey now, you're a lousy politician, but you're a good senator. I took that as a compliment. I challenge all of us to be lousy politicians, but to be good senators. Because right now, the longer we wait, the harder it is for our country, and the more that a senior is going to see their benefits go away, and the more the American people, more likely the American people will see their taxes go up, or our country will have to borrow so much money that we will go into oblivion. Let's be patriotic. Let's be good senators. Let's be here to make the hard decisions. No, not on a particular solution, because what we're considering today is only a process bill. It sets up not an independent commission which is isolated from the influence of the voters. It sets up something which ultimately comes to this committee. This committee, with everybody on this committee answerable to the voters, and everybody on this committee then having to take a vote on either that which is produced or an amendment in the nature of a substitute. That would again go to the floor of the Senate, where every senator who's answerable to the people of his state or her state would again have a chance to weigh in. This is the way the process is supposed to work. And what we're considering today is basically a time agreement. And time agreements are how things are done around here. I am so frustrated by this kind of, let's be political. Let's just one more time use this as a wedge issue. No, let's be good senators. Let's be good senators. Let's vote for a bill that sets up a process in which anybody's proposal can be considered, heard, and voted on and chosen. This is not about a solution. This is about a process to arrive at a solution. If you care about the United States and if you care about seniors, we should be voting for this bill today.
Thank you, Senator Cassidy. Senator Warner.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for holding this hearing. Good to see some folks like Mark on the panel. You know, this is something, I appreciate everybody's passion on this issue that you and I worked on, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
We started, I think, our first gang.
That's right.
Gang of 6. We didn't obviously get it done, or we wouldn't be here today still debating this issue. I do believe the only way we're going to get this solved, though, is through a bipartisan effort. We know Social Security is the most important commitment our country makes to seniors and to surviving spouses and children, people with disabilities. It supports 70 million Americans. It ensures another 239 million workers against the risk of aging, disability, and death of a spouse or a parent. We also know that in 6 years, and one of the things about this where I agree with Senator Cassidy, some of this is, it's math. We're going to hit this cliff. In the fourth quarter of 2032, retirement trust fund is depleted, and every beneficiary takes an automatic cut of about 22%. That's what happens if we do nothing. For Virginians, it means nearly 1.5 million Virginians who receive some form of Social Security benefits will have a dramatic cut in those benefits. And when the trust fund runs dry, the average Virginia retiree stands to lose more than $500 a month. In my state, that's close to $9 billion taken out of the pockets of Virginia seniors. A typical couple retiring in 2033 would lose nearly $17,000 a year. You know, this is going to be a disaster. And the thing that's also coming on top of this is, as I know the chairman and the ranking member knows, the Medicare Hospital Insurance Fund is about to go solvent a few months after that. That's another hit of 11%. So, and for those of us who have been talking about this, we go way, way back in time, in 2010, when we were starting some of these efforts, Social Security's 75-year shortfall was $5.4 trillion in 2010 dollars. Now it's $30 trillion. And I think we all know every year the math gets uglier. We can talk about the processes. The one thing that we looked at, and I look forward to continuing, I've laid out ideas, taken hits from both sides on some of the ideas I had. One thing I hope, as we are forced to grapple with this, that whatever situation around caps and age and benefits, that we also set in process something where we don't wait another